This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't undo your last hire. The human postponer. They were the master of one phrase. I'll circle back on that. But 3 months later, you were the one doing all their work and wondering how big that circle is. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can take the hiring load off your plate by automating the hiring busy work from the initial job post to scheduling interviews. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
So, hey everybody, I was trying to get some music ready for our special episode we're doing right now. And so I went to, have you guys played with any AI music generators? Have you played with anything like this? All right. So I went to Suno.com, got a free account, and I put in chiptunes music inspired by Christmas songs. And this is what I got. Here, check this out. This is what I got. You ready? Everybody ready? You guys can talk. You can respond to me while I'm talking.
Oh, I'm waiting.
Yes.
I'm
here we
waiting.
go. Here we go. We got some of the other hosts across the network. Here we go. This is our new intro, Christmas music for our special holiday special network episode. Here we go. Like, what is that? How is that Christmas music?
The funniest part is that I can't hear it.
I was going to say, I don't know.
It's being filtered out. You guys can't hear it.
Yeah. I was going to say, well, it certainly is a weird choice for Christmas music because it sounds like
silence.
I think it's something, it's probably a setting that Zoom is doing where it's actually filtering it out. But here, I'm going to play it so our audience can hear it. There you go. Welcome, everybody, to the Robots Radio Holiday Special. You and I are the only ones who can hear this music right now. The rest of the show's hosts have no idea what's going on.
I get it in concept.
Right. There we go. That was the intro. I didn't want to use an intro from an existing show because it doesn't make any sense, because this is going to go up on all sorts of feeds, including all the shows that I'm a part of. You guys know who I am. I'm Tom or Robots, and you are listening to this on some podcast feed where you already listened to me or me and some co-hosts or whatever. And here I am. But we've got some other hosts from the network. This is something we do every year. I try to get together as many people as I possibly can. We actually have a whole lot of hosts on the network, but there's only 5 of us right now because that's as many people were able to fit this into their schedule because everybody's so busy for the holidays. But here, let's go through. Everybody, feel free to introduce yourself. We're just going to go in order. Introduce yourself, tell people who you are and what podcasts they might know you from. So I'm just handing it over to Lotus.
All right, yeah. I'm Lotus of Doom. I co-host the Elder Scrolls Lorecast with Tom, or Robots.
This guy right here.
Yeah, right here. It's weird. It's both of us. And I also co-host UASP's Tales of Tamriel, which is another Elder Scrolls-based podcast. And we're actually, at this point, the longest-running Elder Scrolls podcast on the net.
Nice. Well, hey, man, it's good to hang out with you on a Sunday night. We're putting this on a Sunday night. Yeah, it's good to see you. All right, Ben, you're up next.
Yeah, I'm Brandon, or also known as Ben of Temeria. You can hear me on a plethora of shows: Holocron History, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends, the Final Fantasy Lorecast, the Gundam Lorecast, the Wizarding World Lorecast, and the Witcher Lorecast.
He only does a few shows, but
only a few.
Hey, man, it's good to see you again. And then we got Maverick. Maverick's joining us back again this year. How's it going, man?
Yes, this year I'm actually in a proper setup than in the back of a semi-truck. But hello, my name is Jared, also known as Maverick Stone. I co-host the Fallout Roundtable with about 4 other people. We talk anything and everything about Fallout. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for making time. And then we've got Austin. Austin, you're rounding us out.
Hey, what's up? It's me. I'm rounding it out. Yeah.
Amping it up.
I'm Austin. You probably know me best from the Library Halo Lorecast, the show that talks about Halo lore, but also from a bunch of other shows that are from the whole Jumperscape lineup that we've got.
Nice. And we actually had a number of other people. Sergio might be able to pop in. I haven't heard back from him. We have 3 other people cancel, like right at the last minute. So we're just kind of going with what we've got. But thank you, everybody, for joining in. And if you don't know who I am, I set up the network. I'm the guy who made Robots Radio, and the reason why all these people are all here. And I also am a host or co-host on the Fallout Lorecast, the Elder Scrolls Lorecast with Lotus, the Mass Effect Lorecast, and the Lord of the Rings Lorecast currently. Those are the ones I'm doing currently. But you may also recognize me from some of the other shows on the network where I used to be part of it and then handed it off to other hosts. So this is what we got. We got 5 of us. It's kind of a small little shindig, but we are here to discuss our favorite things of the year. Each of us is bringing a favorite thing, and it can be anything. It doesn't have to have anything to do with the shows that you normally do, although it could. It could be a video game you played. It could be a movie. It could be a book you read. It could be a place you went. It could be an experience that you didn't even know was possible. I don't know. Maybe you're riding around on one of those drones that are in New Jersey right now. That's weird. But hey, who would like very topical, right? But who would like to start us off? I'm going to hand this over to somebody. Who's brave enough to raise their hand?
It's your boy.
Oh, Austin. Austin's got our first thing of the year. Austin,
I would love to kick us off.
You're our hype man. It makes sense that you're kicking us off.
I'm having fun. You know, I get a bunch of people with various personalities all in one room, all trying to keep one show alive by talking to themselves. You're going to have some people that are energetic.
Yeah, true. Yeah, so it's the end of the year. If people are on vacation and they need to check something out, I figure that would be also a good reason to point out some of our favorite things of the year so they can be like, oh, yeah, that sounds good. I've got some time off. I can go check that out. But what's your favorite thing of the year?
Well, my favorite thing of the year is actually something that people can do on a vacation day. Only one time a year, though. There was an event that me and my team got to go to in October called the Halo Championship Series. And it was this.
Nice.
Yeah, this big deal up in Seattle, Washington.
Where is this like esports, right? E stands for electronic.
Esports. Yeah, but that's the fun part.
Electronic sports.
It's not just necessarily esports. It's the fun thing. That's the thing that really gets us going, is that it's got its own community stage where folks can go up and talk about things like the latest Forge creations, the latest updates coming to the game, the latest lore updates. They have this website sort of event that's called Cannon Fodder, and they do a live edition of it every year at that event. So going to that event was huge, because this was more than just going and saying hi to folks. It was folks coming up and saying hi to us, which was super unique and so completely new.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and also probably the biggest highlight of all of that was probably someone showed up with a branded vehicle that had our logo on the side of it. And
what?
They were having content creators
awesome.
and stuff sign it.
Awesome.
It was wild. Although actually, no, this one was actually the best. This is the best part. We showed up with 64 McChickens.
This is not going where I expected it to go.
Listen, we like to have fun here. That's the thing we live by. So we showed up with 64 McChickens. Long story how we got them. And we ended up feeding pretty much the entire event staff on accident.
That's great.
It was awesome. It was a great time.
That's a lot
I hope legally.
That's a lot of
absolutely.
chickens.
100%. They totally didn't offer us to go backstage.
All right, so what was the name of this event again?
HCS is this shorthand version, but it's also the Halo Championship Series.
Okay, cool. And I bet there's footage online. If people are Halo fans and they're like, or like, hey, I remember the glory days of playing Halo 2 in my dorm in college. You know, if people are of that mindset and they're like,
Tom, you don't need to call me out like that.
I feel like that is a lot of people, right? Like that is a huge
right here, Tom,
section of the demographic. But if people are going, man, I haven't thought about Halo in like a decade, that would be really cool. I'm sure they can look this stuff up online, right?
There's multiple all-day streams you can find, especially from the community stage and the primary stage. You just find it under HCS Worlds, and you'll find everything there.
Cool. So that, like, the competitive side of this, because I've enjoyed tuning into esports, just kind of casually. I don't get super behind it, but it's definitely something fun to have up on, like, say, a second screen, like while at work, and being like, oh, those guys are blowing each other up. That's pretty cool. Back to spreadsheets or, whatever.
Yeah.
So
I'll tell you, esports is a completely different ballgame when you're there in person. You get the energy real fast. My team, they have no care in the world for esports whatsoever. But then when we showed up, I was catching them just sort of staring at the screen, these giant, Jumbotron level screens, just watching these guys playing Halo, completely enamored, and then wanting to play ranked when they got back home.
Oh, it is inspiring to see people play at such a high level, especially when you understand the game well enough. It's like watching football. If you have enough of an understanding of the way the sport works, and then you see something incredible because you're watching incredible players, and you're like, there's nowhere in my wildest dreams that I would ever be able to do that, but I understand how cool that is. It still inspires you to want to do more of it.
Absolutely. And it's really inspiring getting to actually see these stories, because that's probably one of the... There was a point that I got to sit down with another person's show. They did a live show in the back of somewhere. And they had this guy on that does some of the talking live. He does the casting. That's what it's called. He does the casting. And he compared esports to WWE because it's a continuing, never-ending story of all these different players. And that was a really fun way to compare it to me.
That makes sense. So do you get people like putting on these bigger than life personas and like threatening each other in front of a microphone, like, Team Liquid, next week you're going down, and like talking like they have steroids?
They did promos. I would love to see them do promos.
That would be amazing. They really need to, like, that. Maybe that's the missing thing that would really make esports go mainstream, is adding in a certain like WWE persona kind of thing to it.
Yeah, steal chair as soon as you're down 2 rounds to 3 or something like that.
I mean, they're already set.
Maybe add a ladder or two.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah, you got to grab the Xbox from the top of a ladder.
Yeah. I just want to hear a bunch of esports players who look nothing like Hulk Hogan or Randy Savage saying things like, "You're going down, brother."
I mean, I'm just saying, when you have the esports representing the entirety of gaming as a whole, you're missing the one major aspect, and that's talking trash to your buddies.
Yeah. Trash talk, definitely.
Yeah, but those chat logs wouldn't be the best.
Yeah, we should glaze right over the channel.
Yeah, exactly. Back in the good days.
Yeah. I don't know. I love that, just as somebody who I'm long removed from it, but I used to be like, I don't know, I'd say mid-level esports back in the day. I actually kind of always was not that great at Halo. I was more of Call of Duty, Gears of War, Unreal Championship, things like that. But I always liked Halo a lot. I just always kind of got wailed on in Halo. I was like, man, why am I good at other shooters and I'm kind of crap at this one? But
yeah,
to your point, I love going to those events. Any of the ones that we've actually won, it's like a surreal feeling. And we were like D-tier stage where it was like, oh, you win $500. Now tournaments are like millions. And it's like, okay, cool. I wish I had done that I wish that existed when I was even remotely involved with that. But you're right. Those events are so cool. It's what I love about QuakeCon each year. It's just, they're so good. It's like you don't really grasp it until you're there. And it's such a cool experience.
Yeah, very cool.
What's more cool about it nowadays is I was just told from someone who came into my work, one of the teachers near a local school, that esports is becoming more of a like actual high school club kind of a thing, where it's taking up one of their like
electives.
You know how band would take up their phys ed,
right?
Yeah.
Credit. Yeah. That's what esports is doing. It's counting as like a phys ed kind of a credit.
Yeah, there are a lot of clubs and colleges
and stuff like that. And I was like, what the heck? Where was this 10, 15 years ago?
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of college clubs now and tournaments among colleges in esports, which is like, that's pretty cool, especially like if you're focused on getting your education, but you still can do that on the side and make some extra money or whatever, or just have fun with your friends and just compete. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you're talking about events, how cool they can be. I mean, did any of you at all see the opener for the League of Legends championship this year?
I didn't see it.
I think I did. Mm-hmm.
As soon as you guys
can. I was scrolling through, but I think I did.
I'm promising you will not expect how hype it gets, where they're doing things like they have cultists that are summoning the players. They have Linkin Park coming out here and screaming as the trophy rises from the floor. Like, they do some crazy stuff for that opener.
Nice. Yeah, that's where it needs to go. It needs to get so, like, I don't know. Something needs to push that stuff. I know it's getting closer to mainstream, but there are some tournaments that are just, unless you're a player, it's kind of hard to watch, especially with first person shooters. Because if it's a MOBA, you kind of have this top down view. You kind of see everything that's happening as they pan over the screen. But for like first person shooters, you can get lost in the mix. Okay, who am I watching now? Where are they on the map? If you're not familiar with it, your brain ends up doing a lot of work. So
yeah, having a bird's eye cam for first person shooters definitely helps. And anytime I've seen filming, I actually never watched any of my own stuff that we were in, so I don't even know that was a thing. But what they would do is they have like cameras around the arena so that you can see third person as they're fighting each other from like sky cams, like you would be watching like a football game. It's got the flybys, and the cameras for the individual players for the teams are set on the sides, so you can look at what they can see on the sides from each of the people. But then the actual combat that you can kind of try to follow what's going on is kind of portrayed in the middle. And I always thought that was the easiest way, because to your point, you can lose track of what the hell you're looking at. It's just oh my god, what's happening now? Like,
yeah. Oh, well, I'm interested to see where this goes, and it's good to know that Halo still has a community that's still hype on this stuff, and very, very cool. All right, any last thoughts, Austin?
Last thoughts, honestly, it was completely unexpected in terms of an event and in terms of what it was offering and what we got to experience there. What we do is so deeply rooted in what community is, that actually getting to interact with the community that is not solely chronically online was the most relieving thing to experience out of that whole event. And I highly recommend that if anyone is listening that has that particular community that is just the worst online, see if there's a real life thing that you can go to, because it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, it's amazing how different people are when they actually, show up in person and, all of that. Well, that's cool. Yeah, that sounds like you had a great experience. And we got Sergio jumping in too. Glad Sergio was able to make it. Hey, welcome.
Hello,
how's it going?
The life of a lore master never stops.
Yeah. We've already done the intros, and we've talked with Austin about going and watching an actual live Halo tournament, which sounds awesome. But Sergio, go ahead and introduce yourself and let people know how they might know you.
My name is Sergio. I am the host of the Dungeons and Dragons Lorecast. I talk D&D every week, every Saturday morning, and also in real life 24/7, 365. So if you know me, it's probably because I'm giving you some opinion or theory or information on the world's histories, creatures, and characters of Dungeons and Dragons.
Nice. You permanently live in Faerun. You are communicating with us through a portal right now, which is impressive.
I'm actually on Krynn, believe it or not.
Okay. All right.
All right.
I was doing some
research on some elves on Krynn for a Patron Plus installment.
Nice stuff. Awesome. Well, welcome back. I'm glad that show's still going well. That's another one of the shows that I launched and then handed off, and that you've been doing a great job with it, covering all sorts of cool stuff that we never got a chance to cover. But here, let's move on to the next person. Who else would like to chime in? Who would like to go next about your favorite thing this year? Lotus?
Yeah, so I'll actually do mine just because it's kind of funny how much it actually mimics Austin's. It's just a different game in question.
Wait, you're not going to, your favorite thing isn't the fact that Elder Scrolls Online canceled their community event.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited about that because budget cuts, Microsoft, thanks.
Thanks, Microsoft.
It was going to be a live event? What?
So ESO every year, at least last year, and then 5 years ago before the pandemic stuff, was doing a community event in Las Vegas. And Lotus and I were both able to go to both of those. But this year, it seems like it's canceled. I know we're still speculating on the reason. We haven't been given an official reason
yet. We won't get too much into that. But as part of the 10-year anniversary of Elder Scrolls Online, they had this big thing in Amsterdam, which I keep trying to point out the fact just because I don't know why I specifically made the cut, but they decided it was worth making sure that I was there. So they actually gave me an all expenses trip to Amsterdam to go to the ESO Amsterdam event for the 10-year anniversary. I'm
totally not jealous at all. Just totally not jealous.
I got to meet my co-host from my other podcast, Tales of Tamriel, Arcaneer Silvershield, who we have known for 8 years. He lives in Turkey. We've never met until they flew us there. And that was the first time we got to meet in person. We got to record a live episode.
That would be amazing if you've been doing a podcast with him for 8 years, but both been just only recording your own parts separately, and never communicated. And then we just
link them so that it sounds like we're talking together.
Right. Here's the text that I'm going to read. Okay. Here's the text you're going to read. We'll both just record it and then edit it together. Never, ever actually talking.
Nobody will know. But the event itself was like wild. It was really like all expenses. Like they really, I sort of understand why maybe Microsoft was like, yeah, we need to stop spending this much money on things, because they literally built like a medieval village,
dude.
And that's where
when you told me about the knights fighting in the middle of the event, hitting each other with real weapons on real metal armor, yelling at like.
Yes, and we had to post the video because people were like, "Oh yeah, that sounds elaborate." I'm like, "No, this is like they're coming to the side to get stitched up because they need stitches."
Yeah.
Like
this guy got body slammed by the other guy when he dropped his sword. Yeah, like yes.
And yeah, well, so they interviewed the creators and stuff like that so that they could form like a thing to have like an official commercial on behalf of it. And they wanted the people from the community to be part of it. And it was funny because like while we were doing it, they actually had to put up sound dampening because you could hear the knights wailing on each other so hard down below. It was causing audio interference, and we were on a different floor of the arena.
That's amazing.
So it was just like, it was a surreal experience all around. And then one of the things that was kind of like not really intended, but it ended up becoming its own little side stage in the end as day 2 of the event, because it was a couple days, was ending. They were obviously giving people hands-on with the new chapter, which nobody had been able to play yet. And one of the things from shout out to 8 Puppies from the community, he was like, I really want to see the trial. And he's like, I want to see it with people who know what they're doing. So the event staff was like, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to get you guys 12 computers. We're going to set you up off to the side. We're going to block it off. We will let you do the trial for the first time that anybody's seen outside development staff.
Now,
and you can just
real quick,
do it
because we have a very diverse audience. The
trials are like
trials. Yeah, trials are like, if you've heard of raids in World of Warcraft, it's big group events that are some of the hardest content you could possibly do in the game.
Yes, lots of coordination.
Right.
And the idea was, he was like, I want to have it at a level where people are experienced with it, so it's not people totally new to the experience. So it should be like not professional raiders, but like raiders that know what they're doing so that we can work together.
Right.
And it started, we were having fun with it. The devs were watching, and over the course of it, because it was just the 12 of us, and then he ended up resigning his spot so that he could basically run around as coach to try to figure out the mechanics. So he was running from our screens along the platform to try to figure out what people were doing so he could yell instructions to the people on the other side. It ended up building an arena crowd outside of us doing it, and it turned into like a stage event, which was not planned whatsoever.
Oh, that's fun.
And the event staff needed to eventually cut the power because they're like, people have to leave. Like, the event is over. You need to like go at this point. And nobody's leaving because they're all watching you idiots up here. And this was not like a planned event. And it was just such a cool experience to be part of. We got destroyed and people thought it was really funny because everybody's like, this is the best they have to offer. And the devs were like, yeah, this is not tuned properly. This is like,
this is still early,
not designed right. So this is just really funny to watch them figure it out. And every time we would clear a boss, people went ballistic in the crowd and stuff like that. I was like, wow, this is neat.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that would definitely be an experience I won't soon forget.
Yeah. And so people know you had, the benefit of being flown out for this, but it wasn't just for people who they brought out to the event. This was a very big event full of lots of people who bought tickets to be there and traveled. 30
people who were sent to the event on behalf of Bethesda and Microsoft. And then I think the capacity was 2,000 was what it was for the event itself. Yeah. So I don't know. I think maybe it was 2,000 total tickets. I don't think it was like 2,030. That's a weird number, but I don't know. Somewhere around there is the amount of people were in Amsterdam.
Right. Oh man, that's so cool. That's so cool. Again, totally not jealous, but it would be really cool to go. So anybody have any questions for Lotus? Anything else to kind of pick his brain about while we are on this topic? Ben?
No, I'm just jealous because that's amazing and BS.
I'm sorry that I've made everyone jealous.
I mean, if you would be willing to share anything else to make Tom even more jealous, that'd be great. Any other details?
Yes, I agree.
Lotus is also taller than I am, so I'm also a little jealous about that.
Yeah, the ultimate insult. Huh? I have a slight height advantage.
Slight height advantage.
That's
something
that's
biologically.
everybody against me.
Sorry, Ben. Something biologically you have no control over. Yeah. But that sounds like a lot of fun. I know we talked about it on the show while you were actually just after you got back from it and a little bit about it. But that seems great. It's unfortunate that they were going to do something like that here in the US and then that got canceled because it would have been really cool.
I'm hoping they at least bring back the event alongside PAX, Bethesda Game Days.
Yeah.
Because that was the first time Bethesda like officially acknowledged me, which I thought was kind of weird because I was telling them don't buy tickets to PAX, just come here. They have lobster rolls. At which point Bethesda retweeted it, to which like my phone exploded because they're like a megacorp with like millions of followers or whatever.
Sure.
And I was like, oh, cool. So all I had to do was talk about like New England food, and apparently this company likes me. I was like, neat.
Yeah. That was another event. That was what, 6 years ago almost now?
6
It'll
years
be 6
ago,
years
7 years
in
ago.
February?
There's been 3 of them.
It'll be 5 years. 5 years in February. It was February 2020.
And the final one was right before COVID because they had the hand wash stations and we all had to elbow bump because they were very worried about whatever was happening. People
we didn't know what it was
getting
yet.
The flu, and they were like, yeah, just don't like shake hands. We'll keep it. They did a great job there, and then everything shut down.
Yeah, we didn't know what it was at the time, and then I was sick like the week after that, and missed a week and a half of work and had no idea what was going on. Thought it was a flu. Nope, wasn't a flu. Yeah, pretty messed up. So yeah, weird stuff, but yeah, who knows? Hopefully they'll do some other events. I mean, we'll see. There are going to be announcements coming up soon about the future of Elder Scrolls Online and what's going to maybe come next year and that kind of stuff. And hopefully we'll actually get a big announcement next week sometime, because that sometimes happens this time of year where they're like, hey, this is what's going on. Or sometimes the announcement is like, hey, we're going to have an official announcement the first week of January, that kind of thing.
That's usually it. A lot of times they do it during like the Game Awards. They kind of like give you a very quick teaser trailer, and then they're like, okay, the actual event comes at the kickoff of the new year.
Right.
And then the last 2 years, they haven't done that specifically. It's just been kind of out of nowhere that they start giving clues to things, and then it becomes like an event, which is a creative way of doing it.
Yeah, so who knows? Maybe we'll get something this week. Maybe we'll get something in the next few weeks, but it sounds like soon enough we'll get updates on the next year of stuff. So that's exciting for anybody who cares about Elder Scrolls Online. But it's fun. If you haven't played it, it's a fun game.
The last amount was 24 million or some nonsense like that.
Some
over
crazy
the course
number.
Of its lifespan. It's a lot of players.
Yeah, and we've got guilds. Robots Radio.
Still no Skyrim.
It's still no Skyrim, but it is fun, and you can play with other people. And if you play, it doesn't matter if you play on PC or Xbox or PlayStation. We have guilds on each platform. Yep. So if you're looking for people to play with, come join us. Robots Radio's Discord channel. There's a channel on there where you can jump in and ask to join the guild. So there you go. Lotus, that sounds like a lot of fun. Again, not jealous at all. But I'm glad that you got to go and have a great time. All right. Who would like to go next? Who's next on the list?
I guess I can go then.
Maverick, what's your favorite thing of the year?
My favorite thing of the year is also going. No, I'm just kidding. No, it was. So this has nothing to. Actually, has nothing really to do with the podcast per se. But I got to sign my first autograph this year.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun. Yeah, I mean that's related to the podcast because
I guess it is,
that's how they know you, right? They're not just a fan of your truck driving.
I mean,
they could be both.
I mean, maybe they are.
Did you sign, that's a great.
I signed a hat.
Oh, hat! That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's cool. Was this at the event?
New Vegas Days.
The New Vegas event in
Good Springs, Nevada.
Yeah. Yeah. So for people who don't know, this has become a big thing where
it's been a huge thing.
Yeah. Every year, a bunch of Fallout fans get together at Good Springs in Nevada. Nevada. I've been told that's the actual way to say it. I always mess it up. And this started out as like a little thing where like people would get dressed up, they'd cosplay, they'd go check out some of the locations that show up in the game, Fallout New Vegas, and then they would just kind of hang out. And it was just like hey, let's do this thing. There's a saloon. They kind of host parts of it, right? And people kind of hang out and drink and have some food and stuff like that. This year, I don't remember the number. Do you know the number? But it's something
I do know the number.
What's the number of people who came out?
Almost 8,000 people in 2 days.
Holy crap. 8,000 people.
Modest.
Yes.
On a Saturday
Thanks
and
for
Sunday.
the Amazon TV show and season 2 coming.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, they're going to have.
They're trying to get part of it filmed at the saloon.
At the Good Spring Saloon.
Yeah, they're trying to.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll actually do it.
Yeah. So okay. So you got to go, and people were like, "Hey, I like your podcast,"
yes, I did get
and then
to go.
sign my hat, and is that how that worked?
Yeah. It was basically something weird like that.
Okay. All right.
I wasn't expecting it at all. Yeah.
So here, let's talk a little bit about the event. What kind of cosplay did you see? Did you see any really cool cosplayers?
I saw. So I made friends with some boomers.
So not like people over the age of 55.
No, not over the certain age. Not
Right.
The Fallout New Vegas faction, the Boomer Clan.
Right. They like explosives.
The explosives from Vault 34.
Yeah.
Yeah, those people. I made a ton of friends. The Fallout for Hope, big presence there this year.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, it's our buddy Ken who does the Chad show.
Yeah.
And that's currently running. So if you are following any Fallout creators who have links up, you can donate. So did you see anybody dressed up as like robots?
No, actually, I saw more power armor than robots.
Oh, man.
I saw big power armor, too.
Wait a minute. Wasn't there a... I always forget the name of the robot with the TV face.
Oh, yeah. Mr. House. There were a couple of Mr. Houses there.
So, but there's Mr. House, but then there's...
you're probably thinking either the Yes Man?
There's Yes Man, who is a type of... I forget what the type of robot. It always falls out of my brain. But I think I saw one of those, right? Like one of those like robot...
I think I did see one thinking about it now. I saw one.
Yeah, I just saw pictures, so I don't really know.
Yeah, there was there's actually a kid that dressed up as Mr. House, and he was this kid was walking around with like a big old monitor on his head the entire time.
So wait, so he was Mr. House in the monitor?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Like just his head.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. I'm imagining a little kid with like a 1940s style mustache and like slicked hair, but no, it's
I'd
like
say more like 10, 11.
Okay,
maybe a little bit bigger.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
Pretty much.
I'm sure you saw a bunch of Raiders and Vault
I saw a ton of Raiders, ton of Caesar's Legion.
Oh yeah.
NCR. Nice. Yeah, they start fighting with each other. Fun times.
Okay. Was there a Deadpool? I feel like every convention has a Deadpool somewhere.
There was not.
Yeah, good. That's good because that doesn't make any sense. So.
No. There were from what was because Jaxus, another host of mine that also hosts the roundtable. We were walking around a lot, and we were getting. Stuff that was like this thing's gotten so big, like comments like this is so many cosplays. I haven't seen this many even at PAX or stuff like that. It's just a bunch of us Fallout community all jam-packed in this tiny space for 2 days, and we all love it.
Yeah. Well, I feel like this relates directly to the two other topics we've talked about already, is this idea of like the community having a place where they can come together in real life, actually get to see each other, our meat bodies meeting each other's bodies, which sounds weird, but it's not our digital bodies, it's our meat bodies. And like
that's getting weirder.
That's getting weirder.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit weird.
Yeah, a little weird. But there's something about that. There's something about like actually being in a physical space with other people who love the same things you love, like that's, I can imagine why it totally makes sense why this is on your list of best things that happened this year.
Yeah, a lot of community involvement. I always love seeing that out, especially in the Fallout community. Everyone's so nice, man, compared to other communities that I've been a part of. Yeah. Everyone's just like, we're all here for Fallout. You look cool.
Right. Yeah, nice to meet you. You look cool.
Yeah.
You love what I love? Cool. That's good.
Yeah, then at the same time, I got to meet... So last year, I got to meet Jaxus for the first time. And then this year, the three of us main hosts were in the same place at the same time in Good Springs. So we all got to meet and take pictures and stuff.
Yeah, kind of like Lotus and Arcanine. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, it's also kind of neat that we can do this so distant from each other due to technology, but then you actually get to be in the same space together, and just something about that's also very cool, very special. Anybody have any other questions for Maverick before we move on? Any other questions about?
I mean, I have next year's dates if you guys want 'em.
Yeah, when is next year's event?
Next year, it's going to be the same weekend, except it's going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So the 14th, 15th, and 16th
of October? November. Okay, so right before Thanksgiving here in the States.
Yeah. If you're thinking the F1 Grand Prix that happens in Las Vegas, it's the week before that.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. Well, very cool stuff. I'm glad that you got to have that experience and hang out with a bunch of awesome people. Sounds very cool, Maverick. All right. We're wrapping up that one. We've got Ben and Sergio and myself left. Who would like to go next? Ben?
Sure. So this is also nothing to do with any of my shows or anything, but this year I got to train with a local voiceover coach.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
area.
like boxer.
No, God, no.
I really got into boxing.
Unless boxing has something to do, speaking to a microphone. But
okay, so not boxing. But you got into voice acting. Yeah, this is very cool.
Yeah, I got into voice acting. Trained with a coach for about 5 months. Mm-hmm. I actually, a really cool thing, I signed up and did a few webinars and live sessions with Steve Bloom, which was really, really cool. Granted, it was more of more of a meeting rather than like him coaching one-on-one kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. But yeah, a lot of really cool stuff. Doing auditions, I upgrade all my entire stuff. So not only does it help with voiceover, but it helps with my shows too.
Yeah, you guys can't see him right now, but he's got like the really nice microphone and like soundproofing behind him. He's like, you've got your own little kind of sound booth there. Yeah,
I made my own little DIY sound booth, and until I get my actual own place where I'm going to have I'm going to try and get like a full like booth room and just panel it to make it nothing but my voice.
Right, keep out all those extra sounds like the neighbors who mow their lawn every time I try to record one of my shows. I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah, like I'm right next to a window, and God forbid if a semi like drives by and honking the horn.
Right. Yep. So this is fun because this is an experience that a lot of people have never had doing voice acting or getting training for it. But I do know that in our communities there are a lot of people who both hold voice actors in high regard because of their skills and how talented they are and bringing characters to life in our games and those kinds of things, but also see that as a potential future career opportunity for them. What would you share from your experience? Like, what is one of the things that, I don't know, just kind of blew your mind a little bit that didn't seem obvious and you were just like, oh, this advice makes so much sense? Or was there something
read out loud every day.
Okay, so just keep practicing, basically.
Keep practicing every single day. Not gonna lie, I need to do that more often myself because life is a mess, but work. So, I do a 40-hour, my own full-time day job on top of podcasting and then also doing auditions. So, but yeah, just as long as you're passionate about it, just keep going at it.
Well, I have a solution for you about being able to read more out loud to practice.
Yeah.
Here's the plan. While you're at work, take a bathroom break because pooping at work means getting paid to poop. And while you're in there, bring a book with you and read out loud to yourself for a few minutes while you're sitting there on the toilet. I'm sure none of your coworkers will think you're weird, and you'll get more experience, and you get paid to poop.
True, and all my coworkers know what I do anyway. So,
where did he go? Oh, he's practicing in the bathroom again.
I mean, doing my podcast also help. I mean, I do podcasts 3 days a week, so I read out loud there. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's really cool stuff, and I know. At the end of my training, my coach did produce 3 professional sound demos for me.
Cool.
So I got like an e-learning audiobook and then a character/animation because that's what I really want to go into is characters' voices, which I apparently do a really good like Green Goblin laugh, and it's kind of
can you do it for
freaky.
us? Is it? I'm
Can
putting
I
you on
do
the
it?
spot. Can you do it?
Oh, it's going to be super loud.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
you
all
can't
right.
say that you do a great one and then not do it.
Okay,
Yeah, you can do it.
Let me
You
back
can do
up.
it. Wait, did it get filtered out? Was it too loud?
It did get filtered out entirely.
Yeah, absolutely
Hilarious.
filtered.
Oh no! That was so handsome. We heard the beginning.
Too good. We can't let this.
We heard the beginning and went, and then it just disappeared.
And it just goes away. Yeah, okay,
The
it
opener
filtered
was
out.
great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounded awesome.
Well, I'm going to take
Well,
your,
yeah, I
your
mean,
word for it that one's really good because
I know the one thing I definitely need to work on is accents. Accents is the bane of my existence.
I love a good accent. I love Lotus, our Elder Scrolls Lorecast. In fact, this is before Lotus joined. 'Cause
Yeah,
I didn't have a
The Swedish
co-host,
Chef episode really went well.
so I didn't have a co-host for a while. So I had like on the Fallout Lorecast, there's BuddyBot. He pops up on occasion. He hasn't been around as much because some people just find his voice annoying. I think he's cute, but the Elder Scrolls Lorecast had the old man who was like this crazy wizard.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah,
Yep.
the old man, and
Yeah.
he would do the intro. He'd go, he'd just talk and just kind of yell things in the weird sort of English accent, sort of old man wizard insane guy kind of thing.
Yeah, the
Also
Nordic
old-
accent is also
It might my
choice.
My yeah, that's the one you call the Swedish Chef. Is my Nordic accent sounds like a
Yeah.
Swedish chef. My French accent sounds like Pepe Le Pew. Like everything is inspired by
I think we've
some.
probably
so
offended
it's spot
every
on. So your
demographic
French
on
accent
that
is
show.
perfect.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I think we've if you look at our statistics on the the hosting
Such a
platform.
small region that still listens to
Yeah,
us.
I don't know why there's a big hole in France and nobody listens to us there. But yeah, that's cool. That's really, really cool. So if you were to to wrap this section up, if you were to give somebody who was an aspiring voice actor any advice,
gosh.
what would you say? Because you've made this transition, to your credit.
yeah.
You've gone from being, I work 40-hour work week, I do regular stuff, I play video games, I hang out with my friends, like I have a normal life, to I'm going to start a podcast, to I'm going to do multiple podcasts, to now I'm going to get into voice act. Like you've bridged the gap and you've begun creating this path out of just like 9 to 5 or 8 to 5 regular work kind of thing to that plus other stuff in order to kind of move your life in a new direction, which isn't easy. There's a lot of people who struggle with that. Like what would you tell them?
Just keep, if you're passionate about it, keep at it, keep going. Don't just be as positive as possible. Don't let anybody steer you away from what you want to do. Also, I listen to another podcast called Voice Acting Mastery. It's helmed by Crispin Freeman. He's a huge anime voice actor and also in video games. He, video game wise, you know him as Winston from Overwatch.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, I didn't
and
recognize his name, but like now that you say that, I'm like, I know the voice.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he has a really, really cool podcast that helps get people into the business of voice acting, as well as he brings in a bunch of hosts, or not hosts, but a bunch of other voice actors onto his podcast, and talking like Steve Bloom's been on there, John Bailey, who's been doing a lot of the Transformer stuff recently, Jennifer Hale. All the big names you can think of, he's bringing on the podcast, and it's really, really cool.
Nice. Yeah. So listen to that stuff and just keep at it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sounds like good advice. All right, Ben. Well, thanks for joining us and thanks for sharing that. All right, Sergio, it's just you and me left. I'll let you go first and then I'll wrap it up. What was your favorite thing this year?
My favorite thing, a couple of things. One directly podcast related. The D&D Lorecast was listed as one of the top 10 non-actual play podcasts by Dungeons and Dragons Fanatics
nice.
website.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. I'm not, I much like Ben and much probably like a lot of you, I also have like a regular 9 to 5. I have my family. I am really in this for love of the game. I've got the Patreon, but I'm definitely not paying my bills off of that.
Yeah, it's I mean, just to chime in here, I do multiple shows, and that's part of why multiple shows are enabled me to do this full time, is because like any one of these shows that focuses in on a specific game or specific series or whatever, like you have kind of a niche community and you get into it because you love it. And then if you're able to make some money, it's definitely helpful, but there's, you know, taking one podcast and making that into a full-time thing is almost impossible. It's so hard, but being able to at least establish a community and keep it going is totally awesome. No,
yeah, and that's where I'm at now. You know, we've fostered this community. That's awesome, and yeah, I've come to the point where, like, you know what, I don't want to spend too much of my time worrying about algorithms and worrying about listen counts and all that. I'm going to just keep doing what I'm doing and just let it do what it does. Yeah. And so to have that kind of acknowledgement, which I don't like actively seek or actively, you know, try to cultivate, has been really cool. Was like really, really cool for me. Non-podcast related. One of the coolest things that's happened this year is I've started a twice monthly live game at a local pub. Mm-hmm. A bunch of my friends go there like weekly. It's like their cheers, and they said, hey, like the owner wants to like they were talking to someone about starting a game, and he showed up a couple times and he kind of flaked out, but he really wants to run like some kind of D&D game. And at the same time, my friendly local gaming store that I was running games at closed down, RIP HeroQuest. And I was like, yeah, sure. So I went and talked to him, set up a schedule, and I've been doing that since this summer. And it got to the point, like the first session was me and 3 of my friends. And the second session was maybe like 2 strangers and 2 of my friends. And by the time the third session rolled around, it was a table full of people I didn't know. I've never met before. Nice. And so now it's consistently either folks that I've met through gaming there, new folks, and then maybe 1 or 2 friends. And going into 2025, one of the sessions is going to be a West Marches campaign, which I'm very excited to run. If you know anything about D&D, you might have heard of it. If you don't, West Marches is it's a typical campaign. You know, you have a group of players, you go out and go on missions and adventures, except the way it's built is that players can jump in and out. It's basically like, what's the table that we have here? What do you all want to do? All right, let's go do it. So it's very open sandbox, very much driven by the players. They don't even get a map, because the idea is that they're on like a frontier town and they're exploring the wilderness, or they're charting this. They're going into uncharted territory, and so I don't give them a map. Yeah. So it's up to the players to make their own map, and it might be fairly accurate. It might not be. It just depends on like how close attention they're paying to details that they were given. But yeah, that's very cool. I'm very excited about that. And I love, I've been playing in an online game for well over 4 years, right at the onset of the pandemic was when I started playing with a professor of mine and his friends. And so I've been doing that since 2020, and it's fantastic. 2 of us live in Texas, one in New Orleans, one in California, a couple in New York, and that's the only way we'd be able to play, obviously, is online. But man, it doesn't really get any better than sitting around a table, rolling dice, a group of people, having fun, drinking libations, making jokes, and it's something that I can't recommend enough to anyone who has maybe only played online D&D or doesn't or hasn't played D&D at all. Yeah. Or any tabletop role-playing game for that matter. Yeah, I would imagine after the longer those campaigns go, I don't know, it's like a fine wine, right? Like you get this history with these people, and everything that's happened in the campaign plays into the next piece of the campaign, and things that were like story bits that started 2 years ago all of a sudden come back to the surface again, right? Like, is that how that works? Oh, no. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the idea is that this is a living, breathing town. And so, one of the first missions or, bounties that they could do in the first week would be like, hey, old Farmer Johnson, something's killing his livestock. Can you go check it out? Oh, poor Farmer Johnson. But they don't decide to do that. They decide to go do something else. They decide to kill it even worse. Right, because screw Farmer Johnson. And finish the job. No, they decide to go, take out like a bandit group of bandits that are threatening caravans or whatever. And so they kind of like leave Old Man Johnson to his druthers and let him figure it out. And then after a couple of weeks, Old Man Johnson goes missing.
Right. Okay.
And so now they have to either deal with that or just continue letting go. And like I said, this is a living, breathing environment where their actions or inactions in this case will have consequences.
That's awesome. Yeah, and having people that you and like you mentioned, the one you're doing locally, you met a whole bunch of people you didn't know previously.
Right.
But I'm sure that builds these friendships over time because you have this. One of the things psychologically that forms friendships the best is shared experience. It's why it's easier to make friends when you're in schools because you have all these you see them every day. You're in class together, whatever. You have this long history of shared experience. And it's one of the reasons why it's harder as an adult. Because you might work with these people, but they're just your work colleagues, and maybe you hit it off with one of them, but you don't really spend any extra time with most other people, and you might do something once every so often in these other circles. But having something like that where you can, again, build like months and years of just like history, and even though the adventures are make-believe, they still give you insight into these friendships and these new people that you're meeting.
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously I do this podcast. I've been the host of it for 3 years now.
Yeah, it's been a while now. Yeah,
like since September 2021. And so like I said, I'm in this for love of the game. If I wasn't recording my thoughts and opinions and knowledge on this, I'd be boring other people to tears with it in real life. So I mean, I would be doing this regardless. The fact that I get a community that wants to hear it and seeks it out is just cherry on top.
Yeah. No, I think all of us can attest to that. Being hosts of shows with people who enjoy tuning in every week and like sending us messages and things like that. It really. And I would imagine all of you probably feel the same way I do, where you get like 90%, 95, 98, 99% of the messages you get are positive. And there's always an idiot online who's going to be like, 1-star review, they mispronounced this word. It's like, oh, right. Dear God. But like the majority of the people who respond tend to be very positive, and they're just happy to be there. They're happy to be part of this community. They're happy to have something to listen to about their favorite thing every week. And it really is one of the best parts of the job is just being able to, like, even the little notes that are just like, you totally made my week. I was having a miserable week, but I tuned into this episode and everything turned around. And it's just like, that's just magic, like that is an honor to be able to bring people entertainment or information in a way that actually has a real impact. Do you feel that way?
No, yeah, 100%. I mean, I remember one time, I believe it was after our Baphomet episode, someone went onto the Discord and was like, this episode filled in all the holes that I needed in terms of like my own lore for dragons in my game. Like, thank you so much. It's exactly what I was looking for and didn't realize I needed. This is awesome. And I wanted like Andrew WK, like fist pump and like air kick. Nice. Cause like, that's exactly what I'm in this for. This is, like I'm not in this for trips to Amsterdam. I'm not in this for, conventions to get my hat signed.
I'm for trips to Amsterdam. 8 years of work.
Wow.
No, that's very happy for all that. But yeah,
completely hear you. It's.
I mean, it's. That's like just cherry on top.
Well, yeah. That's what I mean. Kind of to go on your point, because I totally get that. It's weird when like you get recognized for things. It's like, yeah, okay, I was just on the other side of this listening to somebody else prior to me doing this. So it's weird to then have other people be like, oh yeah, I listened to the signature thing has been like the weirdest experience of my life. Because I was like, the first event I went to, I took my Morrowind guide and had the devs sign it for me. And now like people are like, oh, could you sign this game? I've been listening to you for 8 years. I'm like, what?
Yeah, right.
What?
Okay, so I had an experience recently I have to share because this is along the same lines. I was, you ever dive? I used to do SEO for marketing, search engine optimization. You look at a lot of data, and I love the analytics we get on like our hosting platforms and things like that. And I was looking through, I think it was the Fallout Lorecast analytics, and I scroll down and I'm like, oh yeah, there's like regions, and I never really look at the regions that much. And I'm like, okay, this percent is in the United States. Oh wait, this percent is in Florida. Oh, this percent is in like the city where I live. oh, there's this many people that like I might run into publicly that listen to my show. Like it just kind of clicked. And then I think I went to like the supermarket and like the nerdy guy bagging the bags in the row over is like giving me the eye. And I'm like, is he recognizing? Like, cause it was just freshly in my mind. I'm like, it's probably because I'm wearing like a Fallout shirt or something and he recognizes the Fallout shirt. But like, there's part of my brain that's going, does he know who I am? Does he recognize me from the show? This is awkward. Like,
no, like that happened to me when I went back to GameStop.
Yeah.
One of the store managers I was talking to, and it's like, oh yeah, I do podcasts, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, wait a minute. On a podcast? I was like, yeah. I was like, which ones did you do? And told him, it's like, you do I listened to The Witcher. That's you? And it's like, oh my God, this is the first time I ever had this experience. Someone actually knows this.
It's so weird. It's so weird. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's more often that like something will come up and you're just like chatting with somebody and you tell them, oh, I do podcasts. And they're like, oh, what do you do? And then they might be interested in the topic of the show. You know, like that comes up on occasion. But I also feel like do you ever feel like the weirdo where you're like, yeah, it's kind of a meme. It's kind of a joke to be like, yep, I do a podcast. It's like, you know, there's something about that that's just like, yeah, everybody does a podcast, right?
Sometimes.
Actually, no, seriously, like I have to psych myself up if I'm going to be saying that. I don't ever say, oh yeah, I'm on a podcast. No, I always say, no, I'm on Halo's #1 podcast. I have to have it say,
oh, that's clever.
You frame it.
Clever. Yeah. That is clever. Oh,
no, that's actually a clever way of doing it because I actually had it just as like a form of, you know, because it is a form of income with the Patreon or whatever. So I just kind of mentioned it in passing when I was switching jobs in an interview, and they immediately did not give a crap about all of my other credentials of running my own business. They were like, whoa, a podcast. And as soon as we got into it, they were way more interested in that when they hired me because they're like, oh, well, you can do like speaking and stuff. And since then, they've actually had me like coach people on how to speak over phones and stuff properly. And I'm like, this is not at all what I should have been hired for, but great. This is not what I expected.
Podcasts are practical, man. They're practical.
They are more practical than you'd think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
The amount of editing I have learned on doing podcasts, then transferring that to freaking voiceover is so much more smoother. And going to Sergio's with D&D, if you are wanting to do voiceover, play D&D because that's a good way to play pretend.
Yeah, character voices. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Although I have an issue of forgetting what accent I was using.
Right.
Like I like NPC at the beginning of the adventure, like, you know, maybe like the one who's like sending the PC party off, and then, you know, 4 hours later when they come back to be like, hey, we found that thing you were looking for. I'm like, oh, was this guy did he have a Jersey accent? Was he from Minnesota? Crap, I can't remember.
Right. Yeah, that's how that works. Well, Sergio, this is all very, very cool stuff. And again, you're kind of tying into a lot of the themes, this idea of like meeting people in real life, doing the thing that you love, connecting with them, all of that. Any last thoughts on any of this?
No, just, you know, look forward to 2025. Congratulations to all of y'all with your successes. I mean, like, and then to Tom for putting all this together, the Don Corleone to our podcast mafia.
Hey, I like to. That's another one of those things that feels weird to me when people are like, okay, what do you do for a living? I'm like, well, I host a number of shows. I also run a network of podcasts, and I don't like to look at it as like so much like I'm a business owner, because there's something about that just feels not that being a business owner is lame, but it feels like it doesn't match really what I do. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like it's not so much about running a business that's a podcast network. It's about facilitating a way for other people to enjoy doing the same things I enjoy and try to find success doing that. You know, like there's something, it's more community focused. Like, I could really spend a lot of time making business decisions about how to do the podcast in order to make more money, but that does not sound fun. Like that doesn't sound fun. It also doesn't sound beneficial to the hosts. It doesn't sound beneficial to the audiences. It just like we are all gamers. That's how, like, the speech from the Game Awards. Was Sven, who was the winner from last year because he runs the Baldur's Gate
from
3,
Larian.
From Larian, right? He runs Larian. Did Baldur's Gate 3 last year. Got the Game Awards. He goes up on the stand and he basically like lambasts the entire gaming community because of the corporate decision makers who are making these decisions to try to make more money rather than to just make freaking good games, you know? And that's absolutely not what I want to do with this network. The network is here in order for hosts and people who enjoy listening to these shows to get the best experience about the best stuff that they can. And I'm here to help try to facilitate that, period. That's why it exists. So,
well, kind of one thing that I guess I can just kind of like give you credit for is, I mean, we met just because mutually you got into doing an Elder Scrolls podcast, and I was already
I was a fan of your show. I was listening. I'd been listening to your show for a long time. It was
funny because we actually had been established, and I actually took over the show from the original like hosts, which is even weirder because I was a big fan of their show and they stepped away.
Yeah.
So I took it over, and then there's been a bunch of mergers with you and UESP and stuff like that, and it was funny just because like since we kind of consolidated everything to the Robots Radio Network, even though, like we were saying, it was already established, it felt like just more organized and professional as being part of the network with you. So it's one of the things that I always been like, that was like one of the best things I ever, like, I was very glad to meet you. I actually think I won the first giveaway that you ever did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you did. Wow.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was some like random trivia thing on Twitter.
Yeah. And since then, we've had you play trivia against the patrons and all sorts of fun stuff. Yeah. Because you're
just bullshit BS and has trick questions.
Wow, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there you go. Well, maybe I'm better at doing a podcast network than I am at coming up with trivia questions. But but yeah, well, thank you for that. And
no, for real.
And then after getting things established, I try to stay very hands off. Like I don't chat with most of you very regularly unless there's something that comes up or you've got a question or something like that. But that's also part of my belief is that like creatives make the best stuff when you just let them do what they do best. Like I don't need to get in there and tell you how to run your shows. You know how to run a show. If you have any questions about anything specific, let me know. Like that's the way I've run it. And I would love like speaking on this stuff. One of the thoughts I had about the network, and maybe we'll just throw this in here real quick, was there are shows that I wish existed on the network that don't. So if you are a creator who's listening to this and you're going like, for example, we don't have a World of Warcraft lorecast. Why not?
Which I find insane.
That's mind-boggling.
Right?
That is so
insane. There are World of Warcraft lore podcasts, but we don't have a Warcraft lorecast, and that just the title by itself, Warcraft lorecast, it just kind of writes itself, right? So if you're somebody out there who's like, I know a ton about Warcraft lore, I would love to start a podcast, we're here to support you. Let me know. There's some others too that I'm just like, holy crap, we don't have that? Why? How do we not have that? And half the time it's like, if I had all the time in the world, I would have a fun time doing that. I would love to fall down and I have before fallen down like Warcraft lore, holes and gone like, well, who are the Titans and why, what is the background behind this kind of magic and, whatever. But I don't have the time to do all that stuff, but it would be really cool for somebody else to enjoy doing it, So just some thoughts. But anyway, I kind of sidetracked us, Sergio, as we were wrapping up your topic. I'm glad you got all those experiences and everything. And I'm glad that you were able to join us today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And look out for a possible Xenomorph Lorecast in the future from myself and my D&D Lorecast co-host, Sean Hamill.
Nice. Well, let me know when you're ready to start it. I'll set you up and we'll get it going.
He pinged me today with a timeline list of all the alien media, and he's like, podcast or GTFO, and I'm like, I mean, if you want to do this, I'm down.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. I was watching, do you guys watch Corridor Crew on YouTube?
Oh, all the time. All the time.
Corridor Crew guys are awesome.
I originally wanted to work for them, actually.
Yeah, they're great. They do a lot of special effects, and they do these really fun videos about how they make the special effects. Well, they did one recently. They do a VFX Artist React is kind of their weekly thing they do, and they did some of the Aliens stuff from the most recent Aliens film. And like the mix of like practical effects with digital and how they made it all work together. It's really pretty cool. It's good. It's good stuff. So go check that out. But thanks, Sergio. All right, I guess I'll go. My thing of the year. All right. So this year, well, actually, I guess you could say, was it a year or two or 3 years ago, we had The Rings of Power, which the first season wasn't as good as the second season, but there's something that's phenomenal about getting more Tolkien, Lord of the Rings stuff on a screen, right? Like that's freaking great. And I'm glad that things are improving with that. But that's not my thing of the year. This idea of something happening on a podcast I do turning into a TV show happened a second time with Fallout this year. And again, just like anytime this happens, going into it, I'm hopeful but nervous. I'm like, maybe it'll be good. Hopefully they don't screw it up. People are really picky about the lore. People are really picky about like the factions and the way things look. And then the show came out, and I remember sitting there during the first episode, and I was just like, they did it. They did it. This is good. This is amazing. I was just like floored. And holy crap. Like it won the adaptation award at the Game Awards this year. And it was up against some steep competition.
It was up against a lot of good stuff. Arcane
specifically. It was.
Right. Arcane, like a number of other things. But the show did great. They're already working on season 2. That'll be up sometime probably in the next year or so. And it looks like they're going to do more New Vegas stuff in it based on some of the leaked footage from like settings and things that we've seen. Also the other, like from my perspective, I'm like, a fan eating good, like more Fallout. I haven't had a new game in a while. They keep updating 76, but I'd like a new game. And then all of a sudden the show comes out and I'm like, this is amazing. But also it did well enough and it was an interesting enough topic. Who knew? That like the general audience out there actually, found it appealing and started tuning in. And that's really cool too, because, like the guy at Publix just recognizing my Fallout shirt, he probably just knew it from the Amazon series. And that's why he recognized the shirt. It wasn't because he knew me from a podcast, but that's great. Like this idea that like, you go to like a holiday party and people are like, what do you do? And I'm like, I do a Fallout podcast. And they're like, oh, I watched that. And you're like, wait a minute, you know something about what I do? That's amazing. Like that's really, really cool. And I think I think there's some truth underneath all of this, right? Like if you took any of the things that we do topics on and you turned it into a really good show, like a lot of the stuff we talk about is awesome stuff. And directed and created the right way could appeal to a mass audience. Like it's real good stuff. And that's really cool. It's kind of I don't know, maybe it's a pat on the back that like, hey, you're into something that actually is cool, not just because it's a video game. I don't know. Something about that. But that's my big one. And then that also helped out the show. Like the show just like the listenership for the Fallout Lorecast just rocketed like through the roof to the point where it was at the top of all the ranking charts for not just video game podcasts, but like entertainment podcasts.
Yeah, that's wild.
Like,
ours did something similar when it happened.
Yeah.
No, ours wasn't as big, but we got into a whole lot more and we saw a huge rise. It was awesome.
You know what, guys? I'm happy for you.
we don't.
How do you feel about the Halo show, Austin?
The what?
The what show?
What show over there?
Yeah, but that's.
I have multiple shows on fandoms I do, and oh boy, are they heated.
Yeah, like the first season of The Witcher was great, and then it was like after that, it's like, what are you guys doing?
Dog shit on the wrist.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? No controversy.
What? I mean,
no.
Me and Toasty get more people asking. It's like, okay, when season 4 comes out, you guys are gonna trash talk, right? It's like, I mean, it's going to happen.
Well, I mean, if it like, yeah, well, that's the thing is that as a content creator, you have to be authentic. Like, if you didn't enjoy it, you have to say, well, you know what, I didn't enjoy these things.
Well, it's funny is because Toasty even says like, I think people like it more when I trash talk.
That's the reason why there's so much negative stuff on YouTube is it actually gets more click and people find it more entertaining.
It is, but I mean, we're also not lying.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like, and here's the thing: if all of a sudden season 4 of The Witcher is just like amazingly good, and you're just like, wait a minute, this is really good, you would have to call it as it is, even though you didn't expect it to be.
Absolutely, I would.
Yeah. And Austin, it seems like a Halo show should be kind of a no-brainer, but it's unfortunate.
I mean, all I'm saying right now is Star Wars Visions was allowed to get 3 seasons is coming up on, I'm pretty sure.
Where's Halo Legends?
Exactly. Halo Legends literally paved the way. And where's season 2? Where's freaking anything? Because straight up, Forward Unto Dawn was great. Nightfall, we don't talk about it. There are so many opportunities to turn Halo into some form of visual media.
Yeah.
But I guess right now, whoever's behind it, I don't know. We've talked about that a lot. I don't listen to an episode, but
From the last I saw, the rights for the license is up for sale, and I think.
Oh, really?
Who's main? Christopher Nolan, I think, is looking to possibly buy it.
See, and that would be a good choice.
I heard about that one too.
Yeah.
we haven't
And
gotten.
I would be fine with.
We haven't gotten any credible sources on that.
Hey, his brother did Fallout. I'm pretty sure Christopher Nolan can do a awesome Halo.
He could, if he really wanted to, grab that flaming goat and try to make something out of it. Yes, he could probably do that.
Yeah, that would be amazing. It would be. Everyone should just make awesome stuff for us. Thank you, world.
Go to Amazon.
You
Amazon
make
knows what
our
they're
job
doing.
so much easier.
You could be in the weird position that that D&D fans are in there, where you have a fantastic movie,
Yeah.
really fun movie.
Yeah, it was a
that,
good movie.
Like no one really went to watch.
Oh man,
At
that's
least
so
not enough
sad.
people
Good
went to
though.
watch.
I know it was
Pudgy
good.
Dragon.
It was good. It was a good film. What was the name of it? It's,
Honor Among Thieves.
I know it was something Thieves. Honor Among Thieves. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Go stream it. It's a good movie. And if you
It's
are
a
into
great
D&D, you will get a lot of the extra little jokes that are going to go over your head
yeah.
if you aren't into D&D. So yeah, absolutely cool. And there's a lot of other good D&D stuff out there. We've got like the Critical Role podcast, but then you also have
Secret Levels.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Did an
first episode of Secret Level.
right. You got some shows out there for that stuff, and that stuff's really good as well. And Lotus and I have talked about it, like with the success of Fallout, and we're like, okay, Elder Scrolls now, do an Elder Scrolls show. That would be amazing. I don't know how you would do it.
There's
but-
so many different ways they could do it.
Yeah.
Instead of just not doing it, which they're doubling down
Dragon
on.
Break.
Right. It seems like, again, another one of those no-brainers. Okay, we did this with Fallout. Follow the same plan.
Yeah.
Do it with Elder Scrolls. And I know
It's kind
TV
of
show
like
production.
The Last of Us.
Yeah, TV show production is complicated. It's expensive. I know there's a lot of red tape, and there's a lot of reasons why certain
For
things get
sure.
greenlit and other things don't. There's a lot going on. But from our perspective, it's like, well, you proved you can do it, so maybe just do it again.
Yeah, so just do it again.
Yeah.
And just make sure Amazon's the one doing it.
Right.
Because
Yeah,
apparently they're the
apparently.
only good adaptations.
Yeah, strangely enough. Like, why is that the
That
case?
is really weird to think about. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, you're
Netflix
right.
does some good,
Honestly,
like,
just don't let Netflix themselves touch it.
yeah, maybe
You
that's
can
it.
stream it through it, just don't let them
Or
touch it.
let them start and then take it away from them immediately.
Exactly.
Okay.
Wait, Cyberpunk Edge Runners was pretty dope.
Yeah,
because
that's the
Netflix
thing. Is that,
didn't touch
Yeah.
it.
right. Or like the Castlevania
It's an
series.
anime studio
Pretty
that did
good.
That's true. True enough.
Yeah, there's a few. others.
Speaking of Cyberpunk TV show, I don't know if you guys saw it, but Idris Elba, did you see what he said recently about that?
Oh, TV show?
No.
No, I
Yeah,
haven't.
Idris Elba was like, he was basically saying that he and Keanu Reeves would work so well in a live action cyberpunk movie that he needs it, that he's speaking it into existence. That's what he said.
Absolutely. I mean, they're both in 2077.
They're
the
in
game,
Phantom
right?
Pain
Yeah.
or
Phantom
Phantom Liberty.
Liberty.
Yeah, no, and
Phantom Pain.
and with that much
That's Metal Gear.
with that much star power and the cyberpunk name together in a movie that's like set like yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel like that would be better in a TV show, though. But that's
Or in a
just my
TV
opinion.
show. Yeah, I would take either. Yeah.
Amazon.
All right. TV show and movie makers out there, just do what we want. Thank you. That's our wish for the new year. What happens if this time next year we have some really crazy surprises about like some of the stuff? That would be insane.
Everyone can blame us. It's fine.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
We just
Yep,
take all the credit.
exactly.
but
No,
ignore
no,
any
no.
criticism.
Everybody will thank us.
Yes.
All right. Well, I think we've done it. We've covered our favorite things from this year. If any of those things are things that have inspired you, maybe to make a New Year's resolution, maybe get out more, go to more game events, or whatever. Maybe start your own podcast, get into voice acting, whatever. Start your own DMD campaign in the neighborhood, whatever it is. Hopefully that this makes your next year brighter. And if you have something specific that you thought was super awesome, let us know. Jump on the Robots Radio Discord, even just post it in the general chat. Just be like, hey guys, heard the episode. This is my thing of the year. You should go check it out, because I need more awesome things in my life. And if people are sharing things they love, then maybe I'll love them as well. So there you go. But here, we'll go back through everybody. Feel free to share again who you are, what show you do, and thanks for joining us. I'm just going to go in order. Lotus, Kick us off.
Yeah, I'm Lotus of Doom. I co-host the Elder Scrolls Lorecast with Tom. We rarely miss a week. We're usually pretty consistent.
Yeah, we took the last week off because I was just like, I need to watch the Game Awards.
It happened to be our recording time was during the Game Awards, which is a weird overlap.
Right.
And then the other podcast I do is Tales of Tamriel, and it's presented by the unofficial Elder Scrolls pages. It's a lot of Elder Scrolls Online. It's more of a roundtable discussion thing that we do, but I kind of incorporated in a lot of the classic games. So if you're curious in the long-standing games in the series, we do delve into that stuff. It's been running for a very long time at this point, with or without me over the years. But it's something that I love doing, and I'm hoping we can continue into the new year. It's generally more of a bi-weekly show at this point than weekly.
Yeah. But if you're into that stuff, definitely worth checking out. Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us, Lotus.
Of course, I'm glad I finally got to join one of these. It's been several years, and I'm like, I always miss the one where all the hosts are together.
No, it's always cool having you around. So thanks for making the time. Ben, you got a bunch of shows.
Yes, I'm Brandon, or also known as Ben of Temeria, and I am one of the hosts for Holocron History, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends, the Final Fantasy Lorecast, the Gundam Lorecast, the Wizarding World Lorecast, and the Witcher Lorecast. Check those out. It's all fun stuff. I literally love what I do. It's thanks to the Witcher Lorecast that I do what I do, because I became a patron, and then eventually I took over the show from Tom. Yeah. So great stuff. And, always toss a coin to your Witcher.
Nice. Geralt just joined us out of nowhere. That was weird. Thanks, Ben. Maverick, remind people where they can check out your stuff.
Well, you can use Smoke Signals.
Right.
You can find me at an abandoned McDonald's, but in all seriousness, of course, I've been Jared, or in the Fallout Circles, Maverick Stone. I co-host the Fallout Roundtable. You can just find it anywhere.
Yeah, and you guys talk about like just all sorts of different cool topics.
Oh yeah. Like we just finished reviewing the New Vegas days with the person who organized it, because we're like big into we've been there since the very beginning.
You're like best friends.
At least one of us has.
Yeah, you're best friends with them now.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Then. Something that's cool. Yeah, I'm getting back into drama writing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
all right. Well, good luck with that. Awesome. Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us, and go check out the Fallout Roundtable if you're into Fallout discussions. Worth checking out. And then Austin.
Me?
Yeah, what do you got?
I am on a whole lot of Jumper Escape Media's projects. You'll probably know me best from the library, Halo Lorecast. You'll also be able to catch me rather frequently on Chatternet, Daily Halo Radio. That's just going on now. But if you want to catch something that's not podcast related and is instead audio drama related, then you'll probably be able to catch a rather familiar voice in both Stories from Waypoint and Tarkov, a Halo Story.
Nice. Yeah, lots of cool Halo stuff if you're a Halo fan. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
And we gotta pump it out quick, because we're starting to wrap up our time at Halo, and we have to get some new stuff produced by the time that we hit next year.
All right. Well, good luck. Good luck with that. And thanks for making time to join us.
Of course.
And then Sergio.
Yeah, you can find the Dungeons and Dragons Lorecast anywhere that you can find podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can also, our co-host, Sean Hamill, his new book came out this summer. It's called The Dissonance. It's out from Pantheon. It's made several top 10 horror lists of the year. His first book has been out for about 5 years now, called The Cosmology of Monsters. You can also pick that up. He's just announced a new book, the first ever Solomon Kane novel, that's going to be coming out January 2026, and he's got some other stuff in the pipeline. So if you're not interested in D&D but you like to read spooky stuff, we still at least got something for you.
Nice. Yeah, cool. Congratulations. That sounds like that's a tall order. You publish a book and you're like, don't know what's gonna happen. and then people like it, and they're like, "Oh, okay, cool, that's awesome."
Oh, people have the best thing that could have happened did happen.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Well, thanks for making time to join us again. Yeah, go check out his show and D&D Lorecast and all of these shows. My shows, the Fall Lorecast, Elder Scrolls Lorecast, Lord of the Rings Lorecast, Mass Effect Lorecast, and all of their shows and a bunch of other shows. If you forget and you're like, "Oh, I thought there was like a Halo show I wanted to check out," just go to robotsradio.net. They're all listed there. You'll find links and everything. So that's a way to do that. Or if you do, remember, just search whatever you're listening to this on, and it'll come right up, and then you can just add it into your feeds. So yeah, go check out everybody, and thank you everybody for joining me again at the end of the year. Thanks for being part of the network and for just hanging out and having fun conversation, because this is always fun. So thanks everybody for tuning in, and whatever feed you're listening to this on, it'll be back to whatever the regular episodes are next week. And hope you have a wonderful holiday and a happy new year. We'll see you next time. Bye everybody. Oh wait, I gotta do the Christmas music again.
Oh God! Did you figure it out this time?
No, you still can't hear it.
No.
Hi, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. Are you looking for a beach read this summer? May I suggest your big wireless bill? It's got suspense, mystery, a slightly flat emotional arc, and a shocking twist where you realize you've been overpaying the entire time. Fortunately, though, Mint's story is better. Every plan, $15 a month, even unlimited. That's it. Happy ending. Zero tears. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.